How's it going, guys? I'm back with part 3 in my read-through of The Secret Man by Frank Dux. Hope you guys like the picture on screen. I actually took the picture of you see of Frank from I took a snapshot from his documentary called Put Up Your Dukes, where he was shaving in front of the mirror, and he actually talked about his dad getting kidnapped, and he had to take matters into his own hands like he was Liam Neeson from Taken. Seriously, Frank, you watch way too many movies. Uh, yeah, I took a snapshot of that and then added in the word bubble. How am I doing today, Frank Dukes? And then added a picture of Jean-Claude Van Damme saying from Bloodsport saying you're doing great, and then another picture of Frank saying good, I'll keep it up. um, this kind of I just thought this would be funny because it shows how delusional Frank is. If you ever listen to him talk about uh, when they were trying to look for the person to portray him in the movie Bloodsport, he talked about he saw a movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme in it, and he said that Jean-Claude Van Damme looked like him when he was younger, and which we all know is a lie. It's all bullshit. Frank, this is very delusional. That's why I thought this would be funny. Also, I kind of stole this one from Family Guy. It was where Stewie talked about reality turning its back on Gary Busey, and then it cuts to an animated Gary Busey in the bathroom with his hair all messed up, his eyes all bloodshot. He's looking into the bathroom mirror saying, "How am I doing today, Gary Busey?" And then you see this like dark, demented clown in the mirror with snakes for his hair saying, "You're doing great." And then you see Gary Busey, back to Gary Busey going, "Good, I'll keep it up." But yeah, if you guys want to make any Frank Dukes memes for me to use in this read-through series, please feel free to do so. We're going to go ahead and continue on with Chapter 3, Casey. The Century Plaza Hotel bustled with even more activity than usual. The number of CIA agents alone made the opulent, colonnaded lobby seem crowded. They were easy to spot, the most and least likely suspects doing duty. There was enough hidden hardware in the hotel to carry on a small war. I could tell who among the guests touted firearms by the way they moved. I never looked for signs of the guns themselves. They could be easily hidden. However, few men fail to reveal that they are carrying a weapon by the way they carry themselves. Being gun conscious causes awkwardness even when someone stands still. To my trained eye, most agents in the hotel lobby looked constipated or tentative in their movements. I could also tell from the slope of someone's shoulders whether he was heavy on one side or the other. People walk differently, straighter, with even a small caliber gun tucked in the small of the back. Part of my knowledge came from pure experience of observation. Another part was the result of my martial arts training, where close observation of the slightest shifts in the stance of one's opponent could mean the difference between victory or defeat, life or death. Needless to say, I knew that Casey had plenty of backup in place in case anything went awry. With all the preparation, I figured we'd be staying at the hotel for our meeting. Earlier, I had speculated that the hotel would merely provide my first contact point, and from there I would be ushered to another unidentified location. Casey's people obviously knew whom to look for. Moments after I entered, a clean-cut type sporting a conservative suit fixed his eyes on me and never let go. I paused for a moment, debating whether to go to the bar in the center of the lobby Maybe I could turn this trip into a double encounter and start a relationship with someone else besides Casey, someone female and much younger, of course. Oh man. I start I started for the bar, but Mr. Suit intercepted me halfway. Blonde and beefy, with his dark blue Brooks Brothers jacket unbuttoned but still tight. He was impeccably shaved and reeked of cologne. Tinkerbell? It was it was really more of a statement than a question, and he almost let a slight smile crack in his serious demeanor. Who else? Laugh and I'll make you fly, I answered. The name was the one Ames had provided for me, his idea of a joke. Ames had a penchant for games, and perhaps that's why he was so successful as a recruiter. His devil-may-care attitude attracted youthful recruits as well as risk-takers. And sorry, this book has been giving me bad gas. Make no mistake about his abilities. Make no mistake about his abilities. However, when he meant business, the jokes immediately ceased. He was real. None of the false macho bullshit portrayed in movies where the characters crack jokes in a situation that would make most people piss in their pants, or only moments after someone's buddy has been blown away, they're acting as if nothing happened and the whole damn business was a game. Behind Ames's flamboyant and reckless persona stood a man you felt you could trust, a rare feeling in our business. Needless to say, I liked Ames. He was the main reason I was there. Take a walk outside for a while until I come get you, Mr. Suit ordered. He nodded his head toward the rear doors leading to a water garden. I checked out the bonsai trees while I waited, past the pond with its fountain and artificial islands. The swimming pool lit up even though nobody was testing the water. As for me, you wouldn't catch me taking a dip near this time of year without a wetsuit. The grounds were designed for privacy, and I ended up in the shadows, staking out the glass doors and windows of the lobby, checking out a blonde stuffed into a sequined gown. She provided a pleasant sight while I mused over what had brought me there that evening. Originally recruited and prepared while still in my teens, I had been seduced by the perfumed promises of glory and adventure by my sponsor, Major General Forsman. You already said this in the last chapter, Frank. God damn. I'd run a few small-time missions for the General and had developed a network of contacts, mostly underworld, throughout Europe and the Far East, as well as honing my skills as a martial artist. The past 2 years, however, had marked a hiatus in my intelligence experience, and interpreted occasionally or interrupted occasionally by some calls from a man I had met on my number of or I had met on a number of occasions, the man who would become my handler, Robert C. Ames. I liked Ames's laid-back attitude. It always seemed as if he was having fun and that he didn't give a damn what anyone thought. He didn't need his ego stroked like so many others in the business, much like you, Frank. Some were there for that reason. Okay, Forsman liked you and thought you could be useful in an unofficial sort of way. Ames had mentioned earlier when setting up my meeting with Casey, but we've got something else in mind. What do you think about working for Bill Casey and me? No oaths, I asked. No oaths, he replied. My family had a history of jumping sides based on ethical concerns that superseded blind allegiance to any sense of nationalism. Ames knew I was serious. In fact, my early retirement from the intelligence community was, I believed, due to my refusal to take an oath to serve blindly and without questioning. I didn't like waiting outside, and the blonde had moved out of view, probably because she knew you were being a creeper. But then again, this is all bullshit, so. I was just beginning to get irritated when Mr. Suit finally appeared at the glass door and gestured. I followed, giving the blonde in the lobby a closer look. I passed as I passed, but Mr. Suit wasn't giving me any time to dwindle and make acquaintances. Make acquaintances. He wanted me all to himself. God. In the hallway, we were joined by two other suits. The escalators had been frozen, and we took the elevator down. The interior was richly paneled, the floor marbled. Okay, I had little time to admire the fancy elevator, however. The moment the doors closed, the three suits frisked the hell out of me, and they knew what they were doing. They need to see. I'll leave a caption. I can't read that word. Me of my belt in the hollow compartment behind my cowboy buckle. I hid tools, lockpicks, and other I'll leave a caption. I can't read that word. That might come in handy some other time, but not tonight. Make sure I get that back, I told Mr. Suit. He maintained his deadpan. If you come back, you'll get the belt back. He descended past the past the plaza level, located below street level, to the California level. As the doors open, light classical music wafted in and followed us through the hallways. At least it wasn't music. So, I don't know. Leave a caption. I can't pronounce that. I think it's Muzak or whatever. Everything gave the feeling of plush dignity. Plush dignity. Yeah, this book's just gonna give me gas right now. Okay, the rich paneling and red. I'll leave a caption. I can't read that word. Trim confirms an aura of affluence. I'll leave a caption. I can't read that word. In good taste. The vaulted lobby gave the impression of a brightly lit closeter passing by. I caught sight of the interiors of huge banquet rooms. They were like underground caverns. Chandeliers hung from the ceiling like huge crystal formations of I'll leave a caption. I can't read that word. These caves led back to what seemed to be a network of chambers only partially visible in the darkness. We padded our way down the corridor, our footsteps muffled by the plush detailed carpet. No matter the carpet, the name. I'll leave a caption. I can't read that word. On the wall had been covered with a heavy metal plate. No one would be sending a bomb flying down that route. Everywhere I looked were doors with plaques stating authorized personnel only on them. No telling where they led, most likely to service quarters. Doubtless, each one was guarded. Still, I mused, the only thing really protecting this place was the initial secrecy. With a bit of planning, someone could easily take this place down, regardless of how many agents, guards, or martial arts champions were on the premises. My escort suddenly stopped in front of a bathroom door. This was the spot, a smart choice. It wasn't located on the building's outer perimeter. I hoped Casey wasn't going to combine our meeting with a pit stop, however. They frisked me a second time and then made me take off my boots. Don't fool around with those, I joked. They explode when tempered with by the. I'll leave a caption. I can't read that word. Okay. Mr. Suit gave me my other wish, harmless. Okay. Mr. gave me my otherwise harmless looking black elephant skinned boots. Gave me my black boots. A careful and thorough inspection, discovering evidence of my escape kit, the knife scabbard, and false pockets to hide various IDs in the boots, leaning custom made to go along with the hollow heels where I'd hidden a dit cord, oh, some kind of cord. I'll leave a caption. It's a cord and plastic explosives. A handcuff key fell out of the false pocket just above the heel. Mr. Suit, still playing the intimidation game, tucked it into his own pocket for safekeeping. We waited together in the bathroom for about 10 minutes, plenty of time for me to check out our meeting place. Some bathroom. It was small with a low ceiling, but the cream-colored marble floors were so clean that you wouldn't have hesitated to eat off them. The kind of place you almost hated to use in case you'd mess it up. Splashing water on the gleaming black countertop that glittered with inlaid silver specks was a definite no-no, and even the drain pipes beneath each sink were masked with spotless cloths covered. I studied the huge picture window of a manor that ran the full length of the countertop, wondering if it was two-way. The bathroom had three stalls with heavy wooden doors and gleaming silver handles. I'll leave a caption, I can't read that word. Between the stalls were also constructed of the cream-colored marble. Cream-colored marble. Someone had wanted to make sure that a guest could rest his ass in style. "What's in here?" I asked, pointing toward the rear door, metal from the looks of it. "See for yourself." I stuck my head into the large empty janitor's closet, practically as clean as the bathroom itself. The closet ceiling was much higher, and pipes were visible overhead. I shut the door and wondered how much longer I'd have to wait. The slight hiss of pressure changed as the outer door whispered open, answered my question. In walked a short, balding old man with white I'll leave a caption, I can't read that word, of hair in disarray around huge ears. Everything about him seemed to slump. Okay, Okay, from his earlobes to his jewels to his shoulders, his eyelids dropped behind his wire-framed glasses, his sleepy eyes sandwiched between the bloated lids and the puffy bags beneath. He wore a dark, nondescript suit, but sported a paisley tie loosened at the neck. I was in my prime, about as fit as a human being could be, a martial arts expert, and one of the fastest men alive when it came to reacting on a moment's notice. Again, Frank? What an asshole. I could have picked up this feeble, out of shape old man with one hand and dashed him against the marble wall with enough force to kill him instantly, but physical force does not necessarily equal real power, as I well knew from my training. No matter what he looked like, Bill Casey possessed the power of authority, not just the authority of his position, but an internal confidence that differentiates men of his type from all others. He exuded the sense that what he said went, and that he expected his orders to be carried out with exactness. Okay, somehow that interior force of personality overrode the outer image of the tired, sagging face and body, creating an impression necessary to maintaining a certain type of authority. He exuded the message, "Don't mess with me or you'll regret it." Casey jerked a thumb in the direction of the door. Outside, he mumbled to Mr. Suit, "You're stinking the place up. For God's sake, use something more suitable." I'll leave a caption. I can't read that word. The old man gave me a stern look up and down, then proceeded to wash his hands, flinging water all over the countertop and mirror. He had the appearance of being I'll leave a caption. I can't read that word. Although he really wasn't, it was just his style. As I looked him over, I concluded that he looked rumpled in any outfit. So you'd be willing to work for me? He asked. Maybe. I still don't know what kind of work we're talking about. Listen, kid, I'm head of the CIA, and what kind of fucking work do you think we're talking about? He shook his head and grinned at his own joke. Bob seems to think you're my man. I don't know. Can I trust you? I mean, at least as much as I can trust anyone. If I say I'll work for you, I'm loyal. I was scared to death. What the hell was I getting myself into? I had worked for Forsman and had some espionage experience, and had trained my body and mind to be fearless in the martial arts, but only a dummy would jump into this mess without doubts. If the director of Central Intelligence wanted me to work for him privately outside official channels, there was no telling what I'd be asked to do. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry for all the belching, but this book is just giving me bad gas. Okay, committing meant a huge risk. Of course, risks were what I was all about, and Casey obviously knew it. He'd done his homework. He removed his glasses and rubbed at the lenses with a handkerchief. You'll be the one getting your hands dirty, so I don't have to wash mine again. Think you can live that? Think you can live with that? He put on his glasses and stared me in the face. Sure, I answered, without even thinking. He appeared rather sleepy, but this was one sleepy bear you didn't want to anger. He possessed it. Possessed it? Seriously, Frank? All you had to say was he possessed confidence, inner determination, a hell of a lot of money, and the position of the director of an agency associated with power, both. I'll leave a caption, and I'll leave a caption for the two ones that I can't. These two words that I can't read here. He stared at the two urinals. Now, who the hell could use this thing? He growled at the one only about 10 inches from the floor. He turned to me. I want you mean and nasty to everyone but me. He gave my face a more intent look, almost as if he were annoyed at what he saw. And if this job materializes, this will be the last time we meet that you're not in discuss. Understand? I don't mean just your face either, of course. You'll either be hearing from me or you won't. The DCI mumbled as he headed for the door, abruptly terminating our interview. I started Okay, I started after him, but Mr. Sood re-entered and blocked my exit. Not quite yet, Tinkerbell, he said, closing the door behind him. We'll wait here a few minutes. I stepped back into the bathroom and did as he suggested. After all, this was a job interview, and one followed instructions to make a good impression, especially if it could lead to a job in which I could write my own instructions later on. Then let a guy wearing too much cologne try to give me attitude. Not long after my meeting with Casey, I received a call from Ames. The boss liked you, he told me. How about coming to D.C. to discuss full-time employment possibilities? I don't need to remind you not to tell anyone where you're going, like I just did. He chuckled. Guess I'd never make a good spy. My dad always told me I'd be Lucy in the business, but I guess it runs in the blood, I answered. Until the blood runs, your tickets at the airport under the name of Williams. You can arrange ID in that name to pick up the ticket, write a neat little test of my resourcefulness. No problem, I answered. Bon voyage, sucker. I immediately went to work first and obtained a certified copy of a birth certificate through the Hall of Records in the name of Williams, of course. That took me the better part of the morning, which left the afternoon in which to show up at the Department of Motor Vehicles to get a temporary license as Mr. Williams. At home, I created a laminated college picture ID just for insurance. And so before I even had time to get used to the idea, I was off to meet Ames in Washington, wondering what in the hell I had gotten myself into. It was the same thought I had when I lost my virginity. Now I'd reached a similar turning point, the beginning of another loss of innocence. And that is it for chapter 3. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, this read through. Till next time, peace.